Well, good afternoon, everyone. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you. And it's time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Steve Aquilung here. Before I get the game in, oh my goodness, this place I went on vacation a year ago where I got my coffee, I found out you can mail order it, okay? It's called, well, I'll show you. Coastal Peaks, San Luis Obispo, California. Cosmo Dark Roast. I got some of this. It came in the mail. I'd already had my morning pot of coffee, but I made another half pot because I had to have some of this. And oh my God, it's so good. It's spendy, let me tell you. But for once in a while, you gotta have it. Today's game will pit the Chicago White Sox at the Cleveland Indians. The Indians come in 8-2 in a three-way tie for first place in the American League. The White Sox are 5-7. The lefty Gary Peters on the mound for the White Sox here. He had a minuscule 1.98 ERA in real life that year, 27 starts, 205 innings. Spectacular hits to innings ratio. Pretty good Ks. In the replay, he comes in with an 0-2 record, but a 2.30. He's made 2 starts, 15 2/3 innings. How does that keep getting slid over? He has struck out a dozen. Gary Bell, the righty, 3.22 ERA in 37 starts, 254 innings of work, and even pitched a couple of games in relief. Also, really good hits allowed ratio. So we've got 2 really good pitchers on the mound today. Bell in the replay is 1-0 with a 4.50. 2 starts, 1 complete game. It was a shutout. He's worked 14 innings, 11 hits, 8 strikeouts. So there's your starting pitchers for today's ball game. And welcome Jack Brooks. Long Island, New York will be a snowy, bad snowstorm on Tuesday right here. Oh my goodness. Well, stock up, get to the store. That's what I do. Get to the store, stock up, and then just stay in as much as possible. At least that's how I handle it. I'm going to get to the starting lineups here. For the White Sox, leading off will be Tommy Agee in center field. Don Buford is at second base again with his 4.39. Floyd Robinson in right field. Pete Ward, the third baseman, bats cleanup. Bill Skowron will be at first base, hitting 5th. J.C. Martin will be behind the dish today. He'll bat 6th. Ron Hansen, the shortstop, with his 3.48, hitting 7th. Ken Berry, a marvelous outfielder, will be in left. He'll hit 8th. And Peters hits 9th. And these White Sox, boy, playing them just a dozen games so far, their defense can be very frustrating, especially up the middle. Buford a 4.39 at second, and Hansen a 3.48 at short. In fact, Hansen leads the American League in errors so far with 6 already in the 12 games. Holy cow. Here's the lineup for Cleveland. Vic Davalillo leading off in center field. Max Alvis at third. Jim Landis will be in left field again. Remember, he started in left their last game. Rocky Colavito in right field in his familiar cleanup spot. Fred Whitfield will be at first base. Pedro Gonzalez is at second. Larry Brown is the shortstop, and Joe Askew will do the catching today and hit 8th. Bell, of course, bats 9th. I gotta have another couple sips of this coffee. Oh man, this is good stuff. Oh God, what a treat. Yeah, I'll go ahead and tell you how much it cost. It was $18 a pound. Normally I get either the Pete's when it's on sale, or the thing I drink the most often is the Rainforest blend from Costco. And that's a 3-pound bag for $17.99, I think. So about $6 a pound. And it's very good, don't get me wrong, but this is a spectacular treat. Okay, let's get the ball game going, shall we? Umpire says play ball. Bell's ready to work as Tommy Agee stands in from the right side, and here's the windup. And the first pitch is a 6-11 to the right-hander. It's a fly to right field X. That's going to be Colavito, a 3-E6. Colavito ranging to his right. Here's the roll on the play on a 1. He's not going to get there. That's down and past him to the wall. There goes Agee rounding. He's in with a double. So a leadoff double for Tommy Agee, and we are underway. I'm negligent in my stat keeping here. Agee came into the game batting only 135 on the season. That's right. 7 for 52. No home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored. And Don Buford will be the batter now. Switch hitter, batting lefty. Buford comes in batting .208, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Agee takes his lead off of second. Bell into the windup. The pitch to Buford, a 6-10 to the left-hander, swung on and missed, strike 3. So Buford down on strikes. And here's Floyd Robinson. Floyd comes in batting .319, 3 homers and 5 RBIs. His 3 home runs leads the club. And here's the pitch from Bell. On a 1-4, a liner right at Gonzalez. Line out to second base. So L4, 2 down. And here's Ward. Pete Ward comes into the game with a 7-game hitting streak. He's batting .238, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. And here's the pitch from Bell. On a 5-7 to the lefty, tapper down to second. That's Gonzalez again. He's got it. Throws him out, and that will retire the side. So a leadoff double by Agee. He's stranded there. No runs, a hit, 1 left. And at the end of half an inning, Chicago nothing, Cleveland coming to bat. And good afternoon, Mike C., and happy Super Bowl Sunday to you, sir. I'll get this game in long before they get into the heart of it. They're probably doing a pregame show already, maybe, I don't know. I know they start pretty early. 3:30 game time, that's 2.5 hours from now, roughly. I'll be done and having lunch by then. Davalillo to lead things off for Cleveland. Davalillo comes in batting .233 on the season. 4 runs batted in, 7 runs scored in the leadoff spot. Here's the pitch, lefty on lefty. Peters delivers a 4-8 fly to left field. That's going to be playable for Berry. He's under it, 1 away. And that'll bring up Max Alvis. Right-handed hitting third baseman. Alvis comes in hitting, where is Alvis? Alvis, a nice start to his season. He's batting .295, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. Peters into the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-8 against the left-hander. Grounder back to the mound. Peters knocks it down, picks it up. Over to Skowron, 2 away. And here's Jim Landis. Landis hasn't played much this year. He's 2 for 15. His 8th game of the season. The bulk of his appearances were as a pinch hitter so far. But he's starting in left field today. 2 down. Peters into the windup. Pitch to Landis. That's a 5-10 to the right-hander. It's a grounder to third base X. That's going to be Ward. Pete Ward, a 4-E10 down there. And here's the roll on the play. On a 20, he's got it. Throws him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Peters. So 3 up, 3 down for Cleveland. Peters, as I mentioned, has pitched spectacularly so far this year, but so far he's 0-2 to show for it. He's been a victim of poor run support and some bad luck, largely due to the porous defense behind him, quite frankly. For Chicago in the second, it's going to be Skowron, Martin, and Hansen. Skowron comes in hitting .269, 1 homer, 1 RBIs. He's 7 for 26. This is his 10th game out of Cleveland's 11. Bell, the right-hander, gets his sign from Askew. There's the pitch to Skowron. That's a 1-9. It's a triple to 2, but that on a 5, that fly ball is going to be playable for Davalillo. 1 away. And here's J.C. Martin, the catcher. Looking for Martin on the stat sheet here. Martin's 4 for 9 on the season. 1 home run, 1 RBI. Solo shot, obviously. Left-handed batter. Bell's pitch is a 5-11 to the lefty. That's a base hit into right field for Martin. So J.C. Martin aboard with a 1-out single. And here's Ron Hansen. Hansen, in addition to leading the league in errors with 6, comes into the game hitting .225, no home runs, only 1 RBI. Bell from the stretch now. Here's the pitch to Ron Hansen. That's a 5-9 to the righty. Homer to 6. High fly ball to left field. That's going to be into the gap for extra bases. That's going to be a double for Hansen. Martin can try to score on that to center. Davalillo a +1. Martin a catcher, however, 1 through 11 +1, 1 through 12. With 1 out, he's going to hold up at third. So double Hansen, second and third, 1 away, and it's up to Ken Berry here with a pitcher on deck. So Bell in the jam here. Cleveland will pull the infield in. And here's the pitch to Berry. On a 6-4 to the righty. Grounder to shortstop X. Remember, the infield is in. Brown's a 3E31. Here's the roll on the play. On a 2, he's not going to get that. It's a single 2 stars. Both runs are going to score. On a 2-star single by Ken Berry. And Berry comes through. 2 ribbies. Martin scores. Hansen scores. And it's 2-0 White Sox. An offensive eruption for Chicago. Chicago comes into the game as a team last in the American League in runs scored. So yes, for them, 2 runs in an inning is an offensive outburst. And here's Peters now. Peters a pretty good hitting pitcher. He's a 4 with N power. Left-handed hitter. Runner on first, not held. Bell from the stretch. Here's the pitch to Peters, a 1-9 grounder to second. That's going to be 2. It's Gonzalez to Brown to Whitfield, and that will retire the side. The White Sox, however, score twice on 3 hits and leave a man. And they take a 2-0 lead into the bottom of the second. Just getting underway, folks. Plenty of time before the big game this afternoon, so find a comfortable seat and spend an hour or so with me. It'll be Colavito and Whitfield and Gonzalez for Cleveland. Colavito, a great start to his season. He comes in batting .462, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. Peters gets the sign from Martin. Here's the windup on the pitch to Colavito. It's a 3-10 to the left-hander. High fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Berry. It's gone. Colavito's just knocked his 6th home run of the season over the left field wall. And it's a 2-1 ball game. Holy cow, let's take another look at that. 3-10 against the lefty. No doubt about it shot. Way back into the seats. And for Colavito, his 6th home run of the season. And here's Whitfield now. Whitfield hitting .346, 3 homers, 6 RBIs. Peters into the windup. It's a 5-12 to the left-hander. Grounder to second base X. That'll be Buford. 4E39, and here's the play. On a 20, he's got it and throws him out. So nice play, Buford. One down, and here's Pedro Gonzalez now. Gonzalez comes in batting .297, 1 home run, 6 RBIs. Peters into the windup. The pitch to Pedro, 2-11, foul ball behind the plate. Martin going back, throws down the mask and puts it away. So Gonzalez fouls out to the catcher, 2 down, and here's Larry Brown. Brown comes in at .242, no homers, a pair of ribbies. Peters into the windup. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-10 against the lefty. Double to 8 on a 12. He's going to settle for a long single. And Larry Brown's aboard with a 2-out single here. No threat to run. And the hitter will be Joe Askew. Askew 3 for 10. 2 of them are home runs, and he's driven in 4. One of them, I believe, was a walk-off, pinch hit home run. Peters into the windup. It's a 1-7 grounder to short. That's playable for Hansen. He's going to go the short way to Buford. And that will retire the side. Indians get a run on 2 hits. The Colavito home run. We played 2 here in Cleveland. It's White Sox 2, Indians 1. And welcome Kurt Miller. He says, don't knock the rock. Hottest hitter going. Boy, and he sure is. Let's look at the league leaders for a second. I believe he leads in OPS. He leads in runs created per 27 outs with 21. He leads in on base at 500, and he leads in slugging at 923. He is indeed the scariest offensive player in either league at the moment. Batting .462. Top of the order for the White Sox here in the 3rd. That'll be Agee, followed by Buford. Bell gets his sign now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Tommy Agee. 3-3 against the right-hander as a tapper down to shortstop. Brown's got it, throws across in time. 1 down. And here's Buford now, struck out his first time up. Bell getting a sign from Askew. Here's the pitch to Don Buford, a 2-7 against the righty, and he draws the walk. So a 1-out walk to Buford. Buford's got some speed. A star 17 stealer, 1-16 runner. Bell a 0, Askew a -2 catcher, makes him a 15. He'll have to be held on, making him a 1-13. And here's Robinson. Bell from the stretch now. The pitch to Robinson, a 6-9 to the lefty, is a fly ball to left field. That's playable for Landis. He's right there drifting under it and puts it away, 2 down. Buford still held on first as Pete Ward strides to the plate. Oh yeah, Ward. 7-game hitting streak. Bounced out to second in the first inning. Bell from the stretch. The pitch to Pete is a 6-7 left-handed. That's a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Gonzalez, a 3-14. And here's the play. On a 7, he's got it. Throws him out, and that will retire the side. So Ward retired 6-3X for the White Sox. No runs, no hits. They leave a man. Now another nice start to the ball game, 2-1. It seems like a lot of these games start off as pitchers' duels. They don't all end that way. And as we go to the bottom of the 3rd, Bell will be leading it off for Cleveland. I'm going to grab a little refill on this fantastic coffee. Boy, normally I'm thinking about switching to tea about now, but this is so damn good. I might have to have a little bit more. Oh, brother. Bell, a 1WR hitting pitcher. Peter's ready to work now. Here's the pitch. It's a 312 fly ball to right field. Robinson drifting under it, one away. And that'll bring up Vic Davalillo. Davalillo flew out to left his first time up. Peter's ready to work now. Here's the sign and the windup. The pitch is a 3-7 against the lefty. Comebacker. Peters has it, throws him out, 2 down. Two away, and Max Alvis will be the hitter. Alvis tapped back to the mound his first time up. Peters into the windup. Pitch to Alvis, a 1-9 to the lefty. Base hit into left field. So Alvis with a sharply hit single into left. And he's aboard with 2 down. And here's Landis now. Landis would love to get on and give Colavito a chance to bat this inning. Peters from the stretch to pitch to Landis. It's a 1-11 against the lefty. Tapper down to short. Routine for Hansen. He goes the short way to Buford. And that will retire the side. No runs a hit, 1 left. We've played 3, and it's 2-1 Chicago. Got out and visited the family yesterday. That was enjoyable. I came home and took a nap. I was bushed. It was a long week with several appointments and a couple of 2-stream days, as I like to call them. I'll try to have a couple more this week. Move the schedule along just a tad. As we move to the 4th, it's going to be Skowron, Martin, and Hansen for the White Sox. Bell ready to work now as he goes into his windup. The pitch to the Moose is a 112 to the righty, high fly ball deep to left field. Landis turns around, forget about it. A mammoth shot by Moose Skowron, and it's 3-1 Chicago. Holy cow, Skowron with his second home run of the season. 112 versus the righty, no doubt about it. Halfway up the seats. Holy crap, Skowron. He got all of that one. And here's J.C. Martin now. Bell getting his sign. Here's the pitch. 3-8 against the right-hander. Swung on and missed strike 3. So Bell comes right back and strikes out Martin. And the batter will be Ron Hansen. Hansen doubled his first time up, came around to score. Bell into the windup. Here's the pitch to Hansen. A 6-10 to the right-hander is a fly ball to right field. It's an easy play for Colavito. And there's 2 away. And that'll bring up Ken Berry. His single plated 2 in the 2nd. Bell into the windup. Pitch to Berry, a 6-7 to the right-hander is a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Gonzalez, a 3-14 as he ranges behind the bag. Here's the play. He's there, turns and throws in time. And that will retire the side, 4-3X. The Sox do pick up another run on the mammoth drive by Moose Skowron. And they lead it 3-1. Oh, and how about that? Kurt says Ron Hansen had a ruptured spine in 1966. What point of the season was that, Kurt? Ruptured spinal disc. And he appeared in only 23 games. I did not know that. Well, now I have to look at his card. Yeah, he only had 74 at bats. I'll be darned, I never noticed that before. He batted 176. That was what derailed his career then, I would have to assume. Because he was a hotshot youngster when they acquired him from Baltimore. And that was in the Aparicio trade. They got him and I think 2 other players for Aparicio. Peter is ready to work here. Bottom of the 4th. Colavito will lead things off. Rocky, he ripped one out of the park his first time up. And here he is again. The left-hander goes into his windup. Pitch to Rocky, a 1-9. He struck him out. So Colavito left with the bat in the cocked position. And here's Fred Whitfield now. Whitfield bounced out to second his first time up. Left on left now. Pitch from Peters, a 4-11. Base hit into right field. A sharply hit single into right for Whitfield. And he's aboard with 1 away. Not a threat to run. Very slow, in fact. 1 through 9 runner. And here's Pedro. Pedro fouled out to the catcher his first time up. Peters from the stretch. Here's the pitch. A 6-7 to the right-hander. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's the second K this inning for Peters. He's certainly looking a lot sharper in the 4th than he has to this point. Not that he's been bad. His only mistake really the home run to Rocky. But he's really attacking the zone this inning. And here's Brown. And here's the pitch from the stretch. On a 6-8, he strikes him out, and he struck out the side. Holy cow. Peters absolutely dominating that inning. No runs to hit, they lead him in. We played 4 here in Cleveland. It's White Sox 3, Indians 1. Well, yeah, just look at that. Oh, my. Ah, damn, that's good. Peters will lead off the 5th. Let's get Bell out there on the mound, shall we? And Kurt notes Hansen has bounced around. He bounced around 4 more seasons, 4 more teams until 1972. And he's still alive and 85 years young. Here's Peters now, batting lefty. Bell with the pitch, a 3-9. Base hit up the middle for Peters. How about that? Peters, a pretty good hitting pitcher. And he's on with a leadoff single. And here comes Agee now. And Agee getting on track could go a long way towards helping out this rather uneventful, just rather poor White Sox offense to this point. From the stretch now, Bell's pitch to Agee, a 4-4 to the righty is a fly to center field X. That's going to be Davalillo, a 2-E5. Here's the play. On an 18, he's there to make the catch. 8X, 1 down, and here's Buford. Don's 0 for 1 with a walk. Peters, modest lead off of first base. Bell comes set and from the stretch. Pitch to Don Buford, a 2-7 against the right-hander, and he walks. Buford draws his 2nd walk of the ball game, and he was good for it, wasn't he? Buford always had a good eye at the plate. And Peters will go down to 2nd. So 1st and 2nd, 1 away, and here's Floyd Robinson. Floyd 0 for 2 so far. Left-handed hitter. Bell from the stretch. 2-6, homer to 1. That fly ball is going to hang up for Colavito. He'll put it away. Peters could tag up and go to 3rd. 10 with 2 outs, 12. Right field is Colavito, however, with a -4 gun. He'll just stay where he's at. Pete Ward will bat with 2 on and 2 away. 3-1 Sox, top of the 4th. Bell from the pitch. That's going to be a 2-9. High fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Colavito to the track, to the wall. It's gone. It just does clear the wall. A 3-run blast by Pete Ward. Holy crap. And look at that. On a 2-9, righty, homer to 10. The roll of a 9, it just barely does clear the fence. And for Ward, that's his 4th home run of the season. That'll drive in Peters and Buford. 3 big ribeye steaks for Pete Ward. And just like that, it's 6-1. White Sox offense coming alive today, folks. And here's Scourin. Bell into the windup. Pitch to the Moose. 6-7. Grounder to second base X. That's going to be Gonzalez. 3-14. Ranging to his left. Plugs it up. 15. And he throws him out. And that will do it for the Sox. But they tack on 3 more on Ward's 3-run homer. And they take a 6-1 lead into the bottom of the 5th. And in 1968, Ron Hansen had the first unassisted triple play in 41 years. Thank you for that, Kurt Miller, the factoid man. Always appreciated. So Peters now staked to a 5-run lead. He'll be looking at Askew, the pitcher's spot, and Davalillo. Askew 0 for 1. The pitch from Peters, a 2-12 against the lefty. High fly ball deep to left field, but that's going to hang out for Barry. He'll make the catch for the out. And trailing by 5, that's going to do it for Bell. Early shower today for Gary Bell, as Cleveland will send up a batter here, trailing by 5. Loosening in the pen, Steve Hargan, who will act as the long man today. And let's find a pinch hitter now against Peters. That's going to be Dick Hauser. Hauser went on to be a manager, didn't he? Kansas City, I want to say. I'm looking for Hauser here. This will be Hauser's first appearance of the season. So in their 11th game of the year, Hauser hasn't been used yet. And he's going to get his first at bat right here. He hit 229 and 140 at bats, 303 on base percentage. So here's Hauser now. Peters the lefty into the windup. 3-8 liner, speared by Hansen. So Hauser hit it hard, right at the shortstop. And with 2 down, it'll be Vic Davalillo. Davalillo 0 for 2 against Peters. Excuse me. That's right, Jack. Yes, yes, yes. He was he was a Steinbrenner victim, let's just say. Left on left now. Here's the pitch from Peters. A 1-7. He pops him up right side. Buford under it. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Gary Peters. We've played 5 here. It is 6-1 Chicago. Here's Hargan now. 2.48 ERA, 192 innings. Starter reliever. He did pitch in relief in this game in real life. And he'll be facing Martin, Hansen, and Ken Berry in the 6th. And interesting Super Bowl notes from Kurt Miller. The first Super Bowl, 1967. Kansas City was in it. And they lost to Bart Starr's Packers. I remember Bart Starr. Shit, I was only 11. Here's Martin to lead things off for Chicago. Hargan ready to work. Right-hander deals. 6-8 to the lefty. A fly ball to center field. Playable for Davalillo. 1 down. And here's Hansen, 1 for 2 today. Doubled and scored in the 2nd. Hargan into the windup now. That's a 6-7. Grounder to short. That's going to be Brown. He's got it. Throws him out and 2 away quickly. Hargan comes into the game having appeared in 2 games, both in relief, 3.86 ERA, over just 2 1/3 innings. And here's Ken Berry now, 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Hargan into the windup, the pitch to Berry, a 3-9 against the righty, a tapper down to third base. That's going to be Alvis who has it and throws him out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Hargan. Six to 1 Chi Sox as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Peters appearing in complete control so far in this game. It'll be Max Alvis to lead it off for Cleveland. Alvis 1 for 2. Peters gets the sign from Martin. 3-12 against the lefty. He hits him. Holy cow. Alvis will take his base, hit by the pitch. And you know that one just slipped. You're not going to be hitting people trying to win a 6-1 game here. And here's Landis, 0 for 2. Peters now from the stretch. Pitch to Landis is going to be a 6-8 to the righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. And that's the 4th strikeout of the game for Gary Peters now. 1 away, and here's Rocky. Rocky could cut that deficit almost in half. Or make it 6-3 anyway. He's got the power. Although more of his power is against righties, interestingly. But he's still got good power against lefties. Peters from the stretch. It's a 6-5 to the righty. Ripped into the right field corner. That's going to be extra bases. Colavito's going to be in there with a double. Alvis can try to score on that. Right field for Chicago is Robinson, a +1. Alvis a 14 with 1 down, 15. Boy, normally I would do that, but trailing by 5, he's going to hold up. So a double for Colavito, 2nd and 3rd 1 away, and here's Fred Whitfield. Pedro Gonzalez is on deck. Peters, an 8-rated starter for endurance. In case you were wondering. Left on left now. The pitch to Winfield. Whitfield, 5-7. That's a double to 5, and look at that, it is a 5. Whitfield rips one into the right center gap. Alvis will score. Colavito will score. And it's 6-3. A 2-run double for Fred Whitfield, who's 2 for 3 today. Whitfield picks up his 7th and 8th RBIs of the season. And here's Pedro Gonzalez with a runner in scoring position now. Peters gets his sign. Here's the pitch. 5-8 to the righty. Grounder to second base X. That's going to be Buford. 4E39. This is where things unravel. 4E39. Here's the play on a 7. He makes the play. Runner will advance on the ground ball C. Buford throws out Gonzalez. Whitfield over to third, but there are 2 away. And it's going to be up to Larry Brown. Brown 1 for 2 so far. And here's the pitch from Gary Peters. It's a 6-8 to the righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. So 2 Ks that inning, 5 on the game. Indians do pick up 2 runs on a pair of hits. Back-to-back doubles by Colavito and Whitfield. We've played 6, and it is 6-3 Chicago. Hargan coming out for his 2nd inning of work. It'll be Peters, followed by Agee and Buford. And nice job, Kurt. Yeah, I figured they'd have to get somebody. Jerry Adair will come in. Who else do they have right now that can play short? That brings up an interesting question. McGraw and Cater pinch hit in this game in real life. Al Weiss can play some short, but he's better at second. And Lee Elia can play short. So they do have a couple of options and more when they acquire Adair from Baltimore. So Hargan ready to work now. Here's Peters, left-handed hitter. That's a 1-9 tapper down to second base. That's going to be Gonzalez to make the play, 1 down. Here's Agee, 1 for 3. As I mentioned before, Agee came into the game hitting 135. No homers, 5 RBI. So the White Sox could really use him to get going here. Right on right, it's Hargan, 4-11, and he walks him. Ball 4, Agee's aboard. Agee with great speed, a star 17. Hargan is 0, SQ a -2, 15. He'll have to be held on, making him a 1-13. Also a 1-17 base runner. The best you can be, of course. And here's Buford. So Agee held on 1-13. Buford hitting left-handed now. Hargan from the stretch. Pitch to Buford, a 3-11. Base hit into left field. Agee can go to third on that. 17 -2 to left, 15. Landis a +1, 16. He's going for it, and here's the throw. He's in there. And Buford with great speed moves into second on the play. So with 1 down, I probably should have cut the throw off there for Cleveland. I didn't. It was just a hunch. I thought maybe they could get him. And now the Indians will have to pull the infield in. Second and third, 1 down. As Hargan gets ready to work to Floyd Robinson. Full windup now, and here's the pitch. 4-3 to the left-hander. That's a single up the middle to center. An open single. AG will score. Buford can try to score on that. He's got great wheels. Davalillo a +1 in center. Buford is 16. +1, 17. Here he comes to throw to the plate. He's safe. He scores. So what happened here? One down. I messed myself up again. 2-run single for Robinson. Okay. And that makes it 8-3 White Sox. An offensive explosion for Chicago today. And here's Ward now. Robinson a star 18. He'll have to be held on. 18, 16, 14 with the hold. Hargan from the stretch. 112. Lines to first base, and they've got the runner off first. Lines into the double play. 112 right-handed. Line out to the max. And that will end the inning. Oh my God, what a play. 112, line it to Winfield. Robinson leaning the other way. He stepped on the bag, and that was it. The White Sox, however, score 2 on a pair of hits. Nobody left. And they take an 8-3 lead into the bottom of the 7th. Peter is looking very much like he could go the distance today. He's got a 5-run lead. And oh, sure, Kurt. Yeah, Davy Johnson. Absolutely. That infield stayed together many years. Powell, Johnson, Belanger, and the human vacuum cleaner, Brooks Robinson. It's going to be Askew, the pitcher spot, and Davalillo here for Cleveland in the bottom of the 7th. They need to get some runs, and they need them now. Peters the pitch. It's a 4-6 to the right. He pops him up right side. Scourin right there. 1 down, and now we'll have a pinch hitter for Hargan. So Bell worked 5. I forgot to write Hargan in. Look at that. He goes 2. Bell in his 5 innings. 4, 5, 7 hits. 5 runs. He walked a pair. He struck out 2. That's it, 2. Hargan in his 2 innings gave up 2 hits, 2 runs. Walked 1 and did not strike out a batter. Tom Kelly getting loose for Cleveland. And right now we'll have a pinch hitter for Hargan. And that's going to be Chuck Hinton. Hinton played all 3 outfield positions, first and a little bit of second base. Right-handed batter. 1 away. And here he is. Peters into the windup. Pitch to Hinton. That's a 3-9 against the lefty. A tapper down to shortstop. Hansen's got it. Throws across in time. And Hinton is retired. 2 down. And here's Davalillo now. Vic's 0 for 3. Peters the windup. The pitch. 6-11 to the left-hander. Fly into center field. Lazy fly ball. Playable for Tommy Agee. A fantastic defensive center fielder. And he makes the catch for the out. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Gary Peters. After 7 complete, it is White Sox 8, Indians 3. And here's Kelly coming on now. 4.34, 95 innings, primarily a reliever. He made 7 starts. Kelly comes into the game in the replay. He's pitched in 2 games, 2 1/3 innings, has not allowed an earned run. And he'll be facing Skowron, Martin, and Hansen here in the 8th inning. I want to thank everybody for joining me this afternoon. Hit that like button for me on the way out. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do that. Okay, ready to work now is Tom Kelly, the righty. Skowron to lead things off in the 8th. Kelly gets the sign from Askew. There's the wind-up, and the pitch is a 6-9 to the righty. Fly ball into center field. That's going to be playable for Davalillo. 1 away. Oh, and yeah, Agee was the Rookie of the Year this season. Absolutely. And rightfully so. Let's take a look at his numbers. He batted .273, 629 at-bats, 22 home runs, 86 RBIs, stole 44 bases. And he's a 1-3 in center. Well, he does it all, doesn't he? Him and Cleon, the best players probably on the 69 Miracle Mets. Here's Martin now. Pitch from Kelly. It's a 5-5 to the lefty. High fly ball to deep right field. Colavito backing up now. He's there. 2 down. And that'll bring up Hansen. Hansen 1 for 3 so far. He's had a fine day in the field, too, as has Buford, who I maligned both of them a little bit at the start of the stream. But they've been very solid behind Peters today. Here's Kelly's pitch, a 5-7 to the righty, and he walks him. A 2-out walk to Hansen. And Ken Berry will come to the plate. 1 for 3, a 2-run single back in the 2nd. Kelly's on the stretch. It's a 6-12 to the righty. It's a grounder to second base X. That's going to be Gonzalez. 3-14, and here's the play. On a 6, he makes a fantastic stop. Plants in, throws, and just does get him. Oh my goodness, what a play by Gonzalez. And that will end the inning. No runs, no hits, they leave 1. And it is still 8-3. As we go to the bottom of the 8th, I'm going to get another half a cut. Oh, I can't resist it. Oh my goodness, that is good. Holy crap, that's good. Okay, Peter's ready to work. Here's Max Alvis. 1 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th. Came around to score. Peter's into the windup. That's a 1-6 against the lefty. High fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Barry. That's going to be off the wall. Barry picks it up. Alvis is in with a leadoff double. Let's take another look. 1-6 against the lefty. Homer to 9. Just misses it on a 10. He'll end up on second with a double. And this is Peter's first inning of potential fatigue now, as Jim Landis steps to the plate. Peters from the stretch now. The pitch to Landis, a 6-3 to the righty. Base hit up the middle into center, an open single. Alvis can try to score on that. He'll hold up, trailing by 5. They're not going to take any unnecessary risks. And one more hit or walk will fatigue Peters. And there is action now in the Chicago pen. Bob Locker throwing down there. And here's Rocky. He could make it interesting with one swing of the bat. He's 2 for 3, has a home run already today. Peters from the stretch. Pitch to Rocky, a 4-5 to the right-hander. Grounder to third base B. That's going to be a force play, and a run will come in on that. That's going to go 5-4. Landis is forced. Alvis comes in to score. It's an RBI for Rocky. So 8-4. One down runner on first, and here's Whitfield. Locker about ready now. Peters from the stretch. 2-2, high fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Robinson to the track, to the wall. It's gone. Left on left, Fred Whitfield has just jacked it out of the park, and suddenly we've got a ball game. And holy crap, it's more late inning drama here. Let's take another look at it. 2-2 left-handed, Homer to 6. The roll is a 4, and that fatigues Peters. And here comes Eddie Stanky to get him. That blast makes it 8-6 Chicago. 1 away, and Bob Locker will be coming on. And thank you, Mike. Boy, I sure appreciate that. That's something I've been trying to remember to do, and for some reason, I just can't seem to. I won't take Barry out. We'll do something at short. 368, 3E40. That's what we're going to do. Although Weiss might be the better hitter. No, actually Lee Elia is. Okay, so Elia is going to come in here in the pitcher's spot. He'll play short where he's a 3E40. And thank you so much for that. Locker is going to go into the 7 spot in the order. And that takes care of that. So 8-6, 1 down. Here comes Locker. 2.46 in real life in 95 innings. Let's see what he's done in the replay so far. He's been in 6 ball games already. 1-2 with 1 save. 2.08 in 8 2/3 innings of work. And here's Pedro Gonzalez now. Locker the righty. Gets the sign from Martin. Pitch to Pedro is a 4-9. Swung on and missed strike 3. 2 away. And here's Larry Brown. Larry 1 for 3. Singled in the second, struck out twice. That was all against Peters, of course. And now Walker with the pitch. A 2-12 against the righty. A liner right into the glove of Buford. Oh my goodness. Liner to second and the side is retired. But the Indians make it exciting with 3 runs. 3 hits. A 2-run home run by Fred Whitfield. And we've completed 8 here in Cleveland. It is Chicago 8, Cleveland 6. And Kelly will come out for his second inning of work. Facing Lee Elia, Agee, and Buford. This might be Elia's first at bat of the year. Let's take a look. It certainly is. This is his first activity of this replay. In game number 13 for the Sox. Right-handed batter. Kelly the windup. Pitch to Lee, a 3-8. Liner right into the glove of Alvis. Liner to third, 1 down. And here's Agee. Kelly in the windup. Pitch to Agee, a 1-5. High fly ball to left field. That's going to be down and into the corner. Agee rounding second. Landis chasing it down. Agee going for third. Here's the throw. He's in there with a triple. Let's take another look at that. 1-5, triple to 9. The roll is a 2. And Tommy Agee, who had 8 triples that year in real life, he picks up his second triple of the season right here. And that'll bring up Buford. And now, Jack Kralik is throwing down in the Cleveland pen. 1 out runner at third base. Cleveland will pull the infield in. Is Kelly ready to work to Buford? Buford will turn around and bat left-handed against Kelly. Here's the pitch to Don, a 5-7, and he walks him, ball 4. And here comes Bertie Tebbetts, and that's going to be it for Kelly. So Kralik's going to come on. He's due to bat second. We'll do a double switch with him. Brown made the last out. Unfortunately, they do not really have another reliable shortstop or a second baseman. They could take Whitfield out and put Chico Salmon at first base. Boy, I can't take Whitfield out. He's 3 for 4. Okay, I guess we're not going to do that in this situation. Probably should anyway, but who am I going to take out? Landis? No, you can't. There's nobody I can really take out unless I look at their... let's take a look here. Maybe they have another middle infielder. Who, in the computer-only cards. I'm checking that. Might as well do everything we can. Boy, they really don't. Kralich's going to come one. Kelly goes 1 1/3. One hit, walk 2. Did not strike out a batter. But with the lefties, Robinson and Ward due up, Birdie's going to Kralich. Jack Kralich, the lefty. Runners at the corners now, 1 out. Cleveland will be at double play depth. Kralich trying to induce a ground ball out of Floyd Robinson, and from the stretch, here's the delivery. It's a 6-10, a flight of center field X. That's going to be Davalillo, a 2E5. Sacrifice fly. Is it deep enough? Here's the play. It's on a 3, and he's not going to get to it at all. That's going to be a single, 2 stars. Holy crap. Robinson with an RBI single on a ball that I really thought Davalillo was going to catch. Agee comes in to score. And it's 9-6. Buford churns into third on the play. So runners at the corners, and here's Pete Ward. Infield still back. Kralich from the stretch. 1-6, grounder to second. That's going to be 2, and thank goodness for them, the infield was back. That's going to be Gonzalez to Brown to Whitfield. Double play, and that will retire the side, but not before the White Sox tack on an insurance run on a triple by Agee and RBI single by Floyd Robinson. And it is 9-6. Let's check Chicago's bench now. They're going to bring in Al Weiss for Buford. So Al Weiss will take over at second base. And here's Bob Locker now trying to close it out for the White Sox. He'll be facing Askew, the pitcher's spot, and Davalillo. Locker into the windup. Pitch to Askew, a 3-6 tapper down to third base. That's going to be Ward. He's got it. Throws him out, 1 down. Now we'll have a pinch hitter for Kralich. And that's going to be Leon Wagner coming off the bench. You betcha. He played in this game in real life. And now with a right-hander on the mound, a perfect time for Wagner. I didn't want to use him against Peters. So Leon Wagner facing Bob Locker. 1 away, bottom of the 9th. Locker gets his sign. Pitch to Wagner. It's a 5-10. Fly to center and shallow. Here comes Agee, still coming. He's there. And the Indians are down to their last out. And it's going to be Vic Davalillo. Davalillo 0 for 4 on the day. That was all against the left-hander, however. Locker goes into his windup. Pitch to Davalillo on a 4-7. Swung on and missed strike 3, and that is the ball game. The White Sox win it 9-6. Wait a minute. Kralich's not charged with that run. That run is charged to Kelly. So why doesn't that add up? 6 runs should be charged to Bell, that's why. Again, when I enter the game in the Windows game, it would have caught that for me. But let's make it look good. Locker 1 2/3. I don't think he gets a save for that. He pitched a perfect 1 2/3. No hits, no walks, 2 Ks. Peters in his 7 1/3 innings of work. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits. All 6 runs charged to Peters. Boy, it's funny how this game works out sometimes. He did not walk a batter, he hit one. Struck out 5. So Peters the winning pitcher. Peters had pitched well in his previous 2 starts with nothing to show for it. 0-2. Here he gets knocked around and walks away with a win. 1-2 on the season. Bell takes the loss. He drops to 1-1. Your totals for the White Sox: 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors. For the Indians, 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Spokane Chief Gary, or Chief Spokane Gary, I'm sorry. Chief Spokane Gary. That was his name once again. Spokane being his first name, I guess, and Gary his last name. My old apartment that got wiped out by the truck accident was right across the street from Chief Gary Park. There's a big monument and an Indian circle there dedicated to him. Boy, it could be Ward. 3-run homer. That's what really opened the game up. Fred Whitfield comes to mind. I know he's on the losing team, but 3 for 4, 4 runs batted in. I'm going to give it to Whitfield. Left on left, he blasted a 2-run homer off of Peters to knock him out. I know it's not customary to give the player of the game to a player on the losing team, but in this case, I really believe that Fred Whitfield was the standout player of the ball game, and that's really what the player of the game is. It's not like the MVP. Colavito had a pair of hits and a homer. Skowron had a home run. That's going to do it for me, guys, on Super Bowl Sunday. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific start, it's going to be the Baltimore Orioles at the Detroit Tigers. That will be Bunker versus Monbouquet. And Monbouquet in his last outing pitched a hell of a ball game. Bunker hasn't started in a while. I can't remember what he did his last time out. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Steve Aquilon wishing you all a happy Super Bowl Sunday and a very pleasant good evening. Take care, everybody.